Hey, welcome to Class Act Media. I'm Jack.
And I'm Elliot.
And this is Nothing Matters, the show where two bearded white guys talk about a weird movie they just watched because no one else has ever done that before. And Elliot, would you like to tell the good people at home what movie we just watched?
Sure. We just saw a hit 2003 film, Tiptoes. I was going to say like drama, but I don't really know if you could call it any real genre. Starring Matthew McConaughey, Gary Oldman, and others. Peter Dinklage.
No, I wanted to watch this movie because I saw the trailer. I think they watched it on the H3 podcast, and I was immediately floored. But I forgot I was going to show you the trailer. I forgot to do that. We'll do that later.
Watch that after this.
But like the way it slowly reveals the information and then it just wham hits you with it is it's a thing of beauty.
Carol and Stephen's life together was perfect. There's one small problem.
Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm his brother. We're twins.
It can tear them apart.
I think you're going to let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
So, for those who don't know about this movie, basically, Matthew McConaughey plays a guy who is engaged to Kate Beckinsale, and he gets her pregnant, but little does Kate Beckinsale know that Matthew McConaughey's entire family are little people, and it is not handled tactfully at all.
God, no, not at all. So, Gary Oldman plays his brother, who is a little person. And basically the first, I want to say 2/3 of this movie are like it's Kate Beckinsale, right?
Beckinsale.
What?
Beckinsale,
yes. The first probably 2/3 of this movie are Kate Beckinsale, like, meeting all these little people and talking to them, but a lot of the conversations basically, like, amount to, should I get an abortion? Do you think you should be alive? Like, it's really just uncomfortable and inappropriate in every way possible. I don't even know what else to say.
It is... I was expecting it to be a lot more interesting based on the trailer. It's a profoundly boring movie.
If you asked me what this movie was about, I would say it's about Matthew McConaughey telling his girlfriend that his family are little people, and then she's pregnant and she's dealing with that her kid might be a little person, and then I don't know, like, there's a lot more happening though, but I don't really know what this movie is about beyond that, because other things just seem to happen and there isn't really a reason.
It's the whole movie, it's like, and these little people they're not characters at all. They're just, except for like Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage, who we're going to talk about in a second. Except for those two, none of these people are really characters. They're just kind of like mouthpieces to confirm to Kate Beckinsale that she's doing a great job and she needs to keep going.
Yeah.
You got nothing to worry about.
It's like the weirdest pat on the back, but not even like, it's not even one of these movies where like a person is getting a pat on the back for like helping oppressed people. It's more like we're supposed to feel bad for the, like, it's more like the two non-little people characters feel bad about themselves and the little people help them.
Yeah.
And they're very like the two non-little people are very disrespectful along the way and just do and say all the wrong things.
Like, and I want to talk about Peter Dinklage's character now. He adds nothing to this story.
Like, try to explain who he is. What is his role? Who is he?
Well, he is a French communist who...
Explain how he relates to the other characters.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
He hangs out with Gary Oldman, and that's about it.
Kind of friends with Gary Oldman, I guess, but they never really interact in a way that makes it seem like they're friends.
Yeah.
And like it seems like they just sort of travel together, but we don't know why. And then he picks up this woman on the road, and then
she's just part of the gang now.
Yeah, it's never like it never shows them getting together. She's just with him now, and she's in different scenes that have nothing to do with her and says things. That's how I would describe most of this movie. Scenes happen, people say things, and we move on.
I was waiting for the the Peter Dinklage subplot to go somewhere, to tie in somehow
It's
to the
not
main
even like a
story.
subplot. It's like it's Minions and Despicable Me 3. It's not a subplot. It's just something that's also
Another
happening.
plot happening.
But it's there. It isn't even a plot. It's
But
just
none of the movie has a plot.
it's just like this is also happening. There isn't a story arc here. This just sometimes we're going to point the camera at these guys.
and like so. Peter Dinklage and this girl, I think she's played by Patricia Arquette. They meet each other, like she's a hitchhiker. They meet each other. They fall in love, and then later in the movie, they're just not in love anymore, and that's how it ends for them.
Yeah, and like they'll just be in random scenes that have nothing to do with them doing nothing.
And that's
I don't understand why they're in this movie. I really don't.
Now I want to talk about Matthew McConaughey's fall from grace, if he ever was in grace at all. So basically, he's all in. He wasn't all in. He was apprehensive about having this baby. But,
He was very apprehensive.
But
From the moment she told him she was pregnant, he was like, "Oh my god!"
But it seemed like he came around to it and they got married. But then suddenly, when the baby's born, he's right back to being a complete asshole about
so
it.
essentially, the baby is born, and the baby is a little person because he carries the genes or whatever.
Yeah.
And he is just the absolute least likable character I think I've ever seen.
He punches a hole in the wall because he finds out they're going to have to take care of this baby.
Yeah, and then he pulls the whole, I think it would be better for you and the baby if I wasn't around, and just abandons them. But not before screaming at his wife because she won't refer to their baby as a dwarf.
Yeah.
He just screams at her. He's like, "Say the word! Say the word!"
And so
He's terrible.
After that, Kate Beckinsale moves in with Gary Oldman, who is objectively the best character in this movie.
And by that, we don't mean the most interesting. We mean the only one who was at all a good person.
Yeah, who has any moral compass whatsoever.
And I guess Peter Dinklage's girlfriend was fine.
Yeah, she was
didn't do
fine.
anything
That
wrong.
yeah, that didn't go anywhere either.
She was morally neutral. Everyone else was terrible.
By the way, Peter Dinklage's girlfriend is played by a porn actress.
No. That's Gary Oldman's girlfriend.
Right, I got him confused.
Yes,
Sorry.
Gary
Oldman's
girlfriend
is played by.
Yeah, and even she cheats on him twice.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes.
With David Allen
But
Greer.
it's unclear if they're actually together or if he's just decided they should be and therefore her being with someone else is cheating on him. It's very odd.
But it doesn't matter in the end because at the very end of the movie, Matthew McConaughey gets cucked by Gary Oldman.
Hey, by the way, they're twin brothers.
Yes.
Oh, and have we even mentioned that Gary Oldman's a little person?
I think we did.
I think we did, but yeah.
I'll be showing clips of the movie.
They made him a little person, and in some scenes it's very obvious that it's fake.
I mean, to be fair, in a lot of the scenes, it does look good.
Yeah, it looks
it's
fine
believable.
for the most part. For the most part, it does.
For the most part, it's believable.
But him being twin brothers with Matthew McConaughey is not believable.
There's so much in this movie that doesn't have any point. When we first meet Gary Oldman's girlfriend, he gets beaten up by a Russian guy.
Yeah,
nothing happens with that.
Characters will fight with other characters who aren't main characters will fight with one-off characters, but it will never be referenced again. It will never, or if it is, it will have no bearing on the plot. It'll be just completely irrelevant. Things just happen for no reason, and a lot of times they happen multiple times.
Gary Oldman goes to his girlfriend's house, gets beaten up by a Russian guy, and then goes to Matthew McConaughey's house because he got beaten up. They didn't really give a reason for him to go there. He just kind of well, the script says it's time for me to go there.
Things just happen. And we found out this movie is 90 minutes. There is a 150-minute director's cut.
I have no idea what
most of what made the movie could have and likely should have been cut because very few scenes have any bearing on anything. So the fact that there were an additional 60 minutes of footage intended to be in this movie is ridiculous. Was in there?
I wonder if the plot was in those 60 minutes.
Yeah, maybe that explained who Peter Dinklage was, why he was in the movie. just anything about his character.
If I wasn't so horribly bored by this the theatrical cut, I would be curious to see what the director's cut was.
It's obscenely boring. Like
offensively boring.
And the pacing is so bad. Like, Act 1 is an hour and 10 minutes long. Act 2 is like 5 minutes long, and then Act 3 is like 15 minutes long.
I think I have
basically.
The whole movie is Act 1.
Yeah. At the end, it's finally a little there, and then it just kind of ends. The last 20 minutes of the movie felt like another hour.
Yeah, that's the longest 20 minutes of my life.
It's ridiculous. Even the credits are weird. They're spaced all.
It's like when a kid has to write an essay and it's like 3 pages long, so it's like quadruple font.
That's basically what they did with the credits. It's bizarre. It's like they filmed 150 minutes and then they were like, oh my god, this is a nightmare.
This sucks.
No one's going to stay for this. We need to make this shorter, but we also need to still make it long enough that it counts.
It needs to be feature length.
So we're just going to cut out a ton of the plot. And then extend the credits.
I have no idea what this movie was trying to say, what it was trying to be about. I haven't been this oppressively bored by a movie since Captive State.
I think, oh god, Captive State. No, this was more boring than Captive State for me. Captive State was confusing.
It was more boring, but...
This wasn't confusing. The content of this movie wasn't confusing. Why things were even in the movie was confusing, but you understood what was happening.
Yeah.
But it was still more boring.
Yeah.
It was just like... I guess the message of the movie is...
Don't be discriminatory against little people.
Yeah, but even then it's shaky on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's this bizarre scene, right? Where Matthew McConaughey's parents and his wife's parents are meeting. And the families are together.
Oh, this is bizarre.
There's this bizarre part where the mom of the wife freezes up and she's like, look, I don't want you to think we're discriminatory people. And we're like, oh boy, here we go. And it's this really drawn out scene before this reveal that what they're actually talking about is they're Jewish.
Yeah, because like...
And their grandma won't come to the wedding unless it's a Jewish wedding.
And like, it's like the mom starts talking, like the mom's clearly uncomfortable with the family of little people. The dad's cool with it. Matthew McConaughey's... It's Matthew McConaughey. No, it's Kate Beckinsale's dad and mom. Kate Beckinsale's mom is clearly uncomfortable with this, but her dad is cool with it. Her mom is like, we need to address something, and then she passes it out to the dad.
The daughter's like, oh God, Mom, what are you doing?
And we thought the dad, by saying, well, we're Jewish, and so we want to have a Jewish wedding, or the grandma won't come. We thought that was him trying to
change the subject and fix everything.
But no.
But then she reacts as if that was actually what she was concerned about the whole time.
That actually is what she was worried about.
Even though she, from the moment she stepped in, couldn't even speak to these people. I don't know why she would have immediately known they weren't Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know why she, it just doesn't make any sense.
And
the way we described it might sound nonsensical, but...
The movie is... It's a bad movie.
It's just not good. It's not worth watching. It's not as good as Millionaire Dog. Millionaire Dog was hilarious.
If we have
Millionaire Dog was classic cinema.
Yeah, let's keep a running ranking of every movie we watch on Nothing Matters. So right now it's Millionaire Dog,
the search for the worst.
Yeah.
See, there's and IAG has said this on Search for the Worst. There's 2 types of bad movies. There are the ones that are so bad you're cracking up and you're just losing it. I love those. Love watching them.
Millionaire Dog is one of those.
Absolutely. But then there's also the type of bad movie where it's just, you just don't want to watch it. It's boring, it's worthless, it's pointless, you're getting nothing out of it. This is clearly in that category.
We had to make our own fun in Tiptoes.
Absolutely, we did.
We had, I had a good laugh at Matthew McConaughey getting cucked by Gary Oldman, but that was about it, really.
Yeah, it was just excruciating.
Okay, I think that's really all I have to say.
I can't recommend this movie in any way. I don't know who this is for. I don't know what kind of person would enjoy this. Even ironically, there is no audience for this. It's a Lifetime movie with the budget of a real movie, but they blew all the budget on the cast, and the special effects. So it's back to a Lifetime movie. And by special effects, I mean making Gary Oldman look like a little person.
I wonder
That's
what
where most of the budget went, outside of the cast.
I wonder what the returns on this movie were. Like, compared to the budget.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll put it on the screen right now.
It's listed as indie online.
It's on the screen right now if I bothered to look
If you
it up.
want to see a real good Matthew McConaughey movie, and by that I mean a hilariously bad Matthew McConaughey movie, Serenity.
Yes. Go in knowing absolutely nothing about it.
We cannot oversell this movie.
I don't want to say a thing about it.
It's just an incredible experience in awful cinema.
Maybe someday we'll make another a special episode of Nothing Matters about it because we love this. Like
We saw it in theaters.
Normally, Nothing Matters videos are about movies we have not seen before, but we might have to make an exception for Serenity.
We saw this movie in theaters, and employees of the theater stopped us outside to ask us about it and crack up with us about how awful it was.
The guy who
like
sold me
20
my
minutes.
ticket tried to warn me about
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I haven't had that happen since I rented Batman and Robin at Blockbuster with my friend Charles, because we wanted to see how bad it really was. That's the last time someone's warned me about a movie. But
This is how boring Tiptoes is. We just want to talk about other movies now.
Yeah. I'm done with this.
I guess this is where we'll end the video now.
Yup.
Well, that's about it for Tiptoes. I'll see you guys next time on the next Nothing Matters.
And I will too.
When the going gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
Would it really be that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
You knocked up this great girl, and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be little.
I'm not like you.
We are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.